Well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird's a winner, well, a bird.
Grown men watch this shit?
A podcast about indie wrestling.
Bird is a winner, well, a bird. Well, a bird is a winner, well, a bird. The bird's a winner, well, a bird. Well, a bird is a winner, well, a bird. The bird's a winner.
And, alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to...
Grown men watch this shit?
We do! We still do, after that manic weekend in LA and all of the crazy wrestling we watched, as your earbuds may have just heard if you have listened to our last episode. But we're still alive. I think I am, despite some niggling post-travel injuries that I was just discussing with you, my friend, before we started the show. But how are you, Jeremy?
I am well. I too came back from LA or my trip scarred permanently, actually, on my end, and I technically I paid somebody to do it, so
yeah,
you can't get too sympathetic. I got a new tattoo, as some may have seen.
It was so cool.
Actually, it just healed up pretty much almost all the way, and I was, you know me, as you've known, Chris, I'm rather anxious. So the whole time I'm like, oh, I think it's fucked up. But now that it's pretty much, much healed.
So like you're watching the dude do the tattoo, and you're like, oh, he totally fucked this. He's fucked this up right now.
No, not that.
Okay.
Not that.
Okay.
No, when I looked at it after it was done, finished product, good deal. But I was worried the healing process may have somehow, fucked up the quality of the tattoo or tattoo. But it looks good. It looks great. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Just a couple more days, I'll probably be totally healed up. Outside of that, please go on. We decided not to regale me of the story of your hand injury until we were on air. So please.
It was
what
funny.
happened to your fucking hand?
Like for our listeners at home, we do our little like before start recording. What's up? Has it been chat? But we have to like restrict ourselves to not talk about stuff that would be good for the show. So it's so weird and awkward. It's like you start talking about something, but then you have to cut yourself off. You're like, no, this will be good for the show.
Yeah, shut up. Go on. All right, so now I need to hear it. What's up with the hand, dude?
Yeah,
were you high-fiving too much with all the ladies down at the roller derby meet?
There was some high-fiving done. That must be it. Damn it. But before we go into that, I wanted to make mention of the tattoo. I hope that you haven't. I told you the story of when I like almost severely fucked up mine on a hot dog stand, didn't I?
No, actually, fuck, let's hear this. What?
Well,
go on.
Yeah, and for our listeners as well. So when I was in New York last time, I got a rad blue panther tattoo with a lucha mask from a very talented artist in Brooklyn called Stephanie Tamez. Look her up if you ever need good work done in that area. And I was so fucking stoked with it, like a lot of like real solid black ink, real heavy, took a fair while as like,
Still looks
Panthers, good. Well, almost. I mean, it's probably me just fucking in my own head because I know the bit that got fucked up. But yes. Yeah, then I went to ROH show, one of their like supercard shows that they used to run at that ballpark, the MCU field, I think, where the Cyclones play.
You saw an open baseball park show? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. It was weird. Like the crowd vibes weren't as good given the spread outedness of a ballpark, sure. And I think it was a bit less attended than some of their more successful prior ones. But it was still great. We got to see a fucking Shibata versus Kyle O'Reilly match, which you look back on now and you're like, whoa, that was really a special thing to be part of. But yeah, long story short, I was ordering a hot dog at a ballpark stand and I was like fumbling around to get my fucking money up because I didn't have a sweet fanny pack like I do now.
Thank you, John Kraft.
Yeah, great idea all around. We all got fanny packs and it was excellent. I've still got mine proudly upstairs there. But yeah, I was fumbling around getting my shit out and I like jammed my forearm against like the steel bit of the hot dog stand, and straight away I'm like, oh, that's like right in the fucking middle of my tattoo when it's like right in that real tender stage of healing. and yeah, got this fucked up like little scar on the Panthers sort of butt. So hopefully, with the WrestleMania weekend this coming next year in New York, I can go back to Stephanie, get something else done, and she can give me a little bit of a touch up. But yeah, you didn't encounter any dangerous hot dog stands with your tattoo, did you, sir?
No, no, sir. I mean, there was plenty of dangerous wrestling fans. The only real risk to my tattoo for the majority of the weekend was you, because you're sitting right next to me, just bumping into the thing. But hey, outside of that, all good, all good. But let's go on about the hand.
So the hand. So the flight back from LA, I did it via Hong Kong again. Had a delightful fucking stopover in Hong Kong, mind you. But the trip from LA to Hong Kong, I was like so just dead by the time I got on that flight in Atlanta. And I was, you should talk to Courtney about it. I was like on just like death's door of being like unresponsive, and just like motor skills were quite challenging at this point, and just it was a bad scene. So I was almost falling asleep standing up while waiting to get on the flight. So then I get on the flight. I was scared I was going to fall asleep while waiting in line, and then I was going to miss my flight despite being at the fucking gate. But I made it on there, and then safe to say I was like asleep before we even took off on that flight, and I must have like fallen asleep in a weird position. And you know, like fucking economy travel, where you're really limited in space, and they have those annoying friggin' plastic arm rests that are in no way nice. And I must have like had my elbow in a weird position on this armrest and just been sleeping on it for like 10 hours or whatever. And then I wake up and got like pins and needles in my hand, which I get for quite a bit from just normal sleeping. I think it might be like a remnant of my wrestling days where I had like a whole bunch of bone chips in my elbow. But yeah, then I'm in Hong Kong and I'm like really struggling to even use chopsticks to like pick up these fucking dumplings. I'm like, this isn't good. This is a bit more severe than normal. And then it does subside a little bit to where I can use my hand and motor functions are pretty normal. But now still like 2 weeks out, I've still got like numbness along the side of my hand and my fingers, which isn't good. Yeah. So, I mean, aside from a potential nice little lawsuit against Cathay Pacific, I may just have to deal with this fucking numbness in my hand now. I don't know. I've had a scan. They did like a baby scan of my hand, of my elbow.
Like a CT or a CAT scan kind of? Or a CTC
where they do like the lubed up baby gimmick on your elbow.
Oh, what's it called? The fucking... Damn it. Here's two men who've never had babies. But we should know, because it's not like you need to know. Ultrasound.
Hey, there you go. I think they try to do more of the ultrasounds these days than the x-rays and such. I mean, I guess x-ray wouldn't be relevant in this scenario because it's soft tissue. But I think they go for a bit more of that to avoid, the extra radiation and such. But yeah, apparently there's no like obvious damage from the scan that they did, but it's an ongoing deal, and hopefully it just fixes itself, as I think that's the wrestler approach to everything. Just don't take any actual action.
It's a male approach. It's the male approach for most situations, honestly. Like, guys like, well, is it not my penis? And I don't have much to worry about, I guess. I'll be all right.
Yeah, dick's all good? Yep, all right. Wait, hang on.
And even if it's your dick, it's like, how long can I work with what's going on before I have to go see what's going on? Yeah.
I want to...
Because I've been on the lamp, too, myself. If I can... it could be potential gout issues, but also it could just be I'm a big fat goofball. But my Achilles for the last week has been killing me, so it's been like a real labor to walk around. And I can only sum it up to being either A, overindulgent son of a bitch, or B, a fucking lazy son of a bitch who gets injured just walking around. But I mean, I don't think I'm a lazy son of a bitch, so it's got to be something medical.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, fucking Achilles, man. The Achilles heel. It truly is a fucking bastard.
Certainly is. Well, from one male to another, I hope that just sorts itself out and you don't have to take any actual action.
Exactly. Doctor, it seems to be okay now. Am I okay? Yeah, that's $300. Oh, son of a bitch. That's the real reason, man.
You know, Courtney is definitely going to be listening to this part of the podcast right now, just like fucking...
Yeah, she hasn't bailed out
pulling her hairs out. Yeah, she is not a fan of my general response to, let's just put my head in the sand and see if it fixes itself up.
Understood. Well, I must ask, because I am a vain motherfucker, and you rarely get to meet someone's girlfriend who's your international friend when she comes to your country to visit and has to deal with you and all your like-minded nincompoops. How was Courtney's experience with me as an individual? Was I too much? Was I too weird? Overwhelming? Too much of an asshole? Let's get a basic summation, because my ego needs to hear this.
Yes, okay, so let's just level here. I'm going to take all the nicety out of it and just go fucking, balls out. No, she thought you were fucking delightful, man.
Excellent. I felt the same. I the whole time she's just being herself, and I'm just enjoying all the moments of her and the coupleness, like you and her interacting. I'm like, I see the interaction, like she's like, oh my god, this idiot that I love with all my heart. Look at him as she's staring at you, and I'm just like, it's adorable and awesome. And I love the fact that she didn't give a fuck. She just, especially. I haven't listened to it yet, and I'll get around to it. But her interjecting on the interview, while
a bit on the podcast,
it was like, oh, great, like fantastic. She was unaware she was being recorded, I believe, so that made it more candid. But yeah, she's delightful, Courtney. If you're listening to this, please still be mean to us. But you're a very, very delightful young lady.
I do quite enjoy the fun ball busting sort of relationship there with that kind of stuff, and I really like.
John misunderstood it. Like, she's not being funny. It is a derision. She's she hates it.
Yeah. John just thought that Courtney Shute hated our podcast and just really scathingly letting us know how much she hates it just because of bitterness and ill feelings. No, I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of that.
A little bit.
Yeah,
but also,
I'm like, she didn't turn that down for you guys.
Thank God. I be real. I try to be as real as possible, but
yeah,
I'm actually staring currently at a container of Vegemite, which I don't believe I snuck into my fanny pack, but ended up in my fanny pack.
Indeed.
And I'm looking at it right now. So I know I'm supposed to do toast and mix it with butter, or just straight put this bitch on by itself.
All right. So everyone out there, especially all of our Americano listeners, we made sure to bring some Aussie treats over for John and Jeremy. Courtney actually brought a whole bunch of candy over.
Excuse me, Whitney as well.
Oh, and Whitney, yeah. So you guys got the Tim Tams. You got what else was there? Musk sticks, yes.
The cherry tart, or some cherry chocolate son of a bitch with coconut.
Cherry ripe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And turns out Jeremy not that fond of sweets. So a lot of
I gave it a go.
You gave it a right crack.
Thank you.
And so of those, again, which was the least disappointing, I guess?
The least offensive was the musk sticks, believe it or not, which sounded the most offensive. Really.
Like, if you can just capture an old man's scent and put it into a candy.
Yeah. There's actually some old cologne that was something musk, and people are probably screaming it, whoever listens, or maybe not, I don't know. But
is it like an Old Spice thing?
Yeah, something like that, but it was like a green. Hey, you know what? I can Google. Let me take a look. Musk cologne. One moment, sir. But yeah, so the sticks were these pink things, but labeled musk. And I imagine, do you think they come from like the beaver? You know how they use beaver anal glands as raspberry flavoring and shit? Like, did you not know that?
I had no idea of this.
Oh, dude, gross. Then I apologize for telling you. Most raspberry flavoring, or a lot of artificial flavoring, comes from beaver anal glands. I don't know how somebody discovered that this is a good artificial flavoring, Like,
that's a pretty good visual.
They're like, wait a minute, holy, that is fucking, dude, come over here. This is raspberry beaver, asshole. Like, I don't know how that works.
Just some dude one day, you know, I'm just over here eating some beaver ass and fucking raspberry. Who would have thought?
I can't figure out the cologne, but yeah, that's true. Like, I don't know if they use it so much anymore, but it used to be one of those natural additives because they try to keep it natural. Beaver ass tastes like raspberries, if you're ever curious.
Damn.
Oh my god, how did
the things you know?
Our show goes to weird places, probably because of me.
I like it. I really enjoy these extended periods of just ramble talking about nothing to do with wrestling. It's quite good.
I just want to say it was fantastic to see you. Great to meet your lady. She was a delight. Miss Whitney was also delightful. I feel she might have been a little bit more overwhelmed by everything than the rest of us. And then, of course, Mr. Kraft, a joy. Handled some miscommunications with some tickets, everything to be shaken out correctly.
It did.
There was some confusion during the show. I don't think I made it on the podcast at all, but everything got shaked out.
Yes, nothing made it onto the podcast at all. Definitely.
The show is rampantly ridiculous.
No.
But yeah.
Likewise, sir. I had an excellent time being reunited with you guys, and it was really fun for us to have that little Airbnb together and the extended hangouts over the weekend outside of just the, together time at BOLA itself. It was like a really nice, just whole feeling weekend that I look back on quite fondly every time I look at my fanny pack. It brings back a lot of good memories.
Yeah, I think actually I have currently a WWE fanny pack adorned with a lot of lapel pins, which I guess technically are no longer lapel pins since they're not on lapels, but I might start adopting that actual beautiful leather fanny pack I was given by John more frequently. It might make it a bit of a part of my ensemble. So
not to take away from John, because I fucking love him, but I'm not giving away credit when it should be coming my way. I bought you that fanny pack, sir.
Oh, John, son of a bitch, Jonathan, you... Okay, Chris, I want to extend a formal apology. It seemed like Jonathan had helmed this entire enterprise. You have to understand where I'm coming from. You saw.
I did. I was there.
Okay, good. Okay,
you don't want to jump in. You don't want to jump in and be like, you know what? That was me. It's like, sometimes...
Oh, man. Buried. All right, well, thank you, motherfucker. I'm glad we have matching ones.
Oh, you're
welcome. Pins all over
friend.
that bitch.
Yeah, that was the thing. So John did start.
You son of a bitch.
John did start the scenario with this chat with that Asian market lady that we were talking about. But it was the moment where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get one. And then there was a second one right there, and I'm like, they have to be matching grown men watch this shit fanny packs. So that's why we got those two in there.
Understood. Yeah. Understood. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, pal.
Indeed.
All right.
Long story short, the Vegemite. We got distracted. Oh.
Damn it. The worst. Okay, go on. I apologize. I normally try to keep us on track so hard, and this time I fucked up. So go on, please. Vegemite away.
It's got to be a difficult thing. I know how my brain rambles a little bit. But to all of our American fans, you may have tried Vegemite in the past. It's a sticky black yeast extract, as fucking delicious as that sounds, that us Aussies quite enjoy on toast. And it's one of those really Australiana type things where you may have been gifted similarly a little jar of this sticky black goodness by an Australian friend, or you may have bought it just on a lark, and then you've dipped your finger in or something like that, or really smeared it thick on a cracker, and you've eaten it, and you're like, this is the worst salty disgusting thing I've ever fucking eaten. well I'm here to tell you that you've just been doing it wrong. Okay, so what you need to be doing there, you need to get yourself some nice sourdough. We're quite spoiled these days with the kind of really good bread that we can get in modern culture. You don't want to just be getting some shitty white loaf from the Walmart sell bread? I'm assuming they do.
I love your reference, but yes, exactly. We can definitely get terrible white bread at Walmart for sure.
Excellent. But yeah, you want to get like some good market sourdough. You know, I quite prefer like a rye sourdough personally, but any kind of good rustic bread will do the trick. You know, a nice multigrain or whatnot. You just want it to be rustic. That's the main thing here.
Would artisanal apply? Would an artisanal bread?
Definitely some crafty artisanal bread. So you get that. You get yourself some nice, full, proper salted butter. You know, none of this. Do you guys have margarine over there, or you call it something different?
Oh yeah, we have margarine for sure.
Yeah. You don't want some shitty imitation butter. You want some good salty, buttery butter. So you'll toast up your artisanal bread. You'll smear a good, like probably more butter than you normally would, just for the sake of this. Get a good coating of butter there, and then you'll get a load up that knife with some of this Vegemite. Don't go too much. I mean, as an Australian, I feel like we've built up a tolerance to it, so I would put more on mine than I would necessarily for someone trying it for the first time. I think it's kind of like heroin in that way.
Again, love the reference. The reference.
Yeah, built up a bit of a tolerance for it over the years with my addiction.
Indeed.
But yeah, to go a little bit easy, but enough so it's like when you spread it over, there's a good mix of the black and the butter and all that. And then, yeah, that's when you want to just go for that crunch, bite on in. And if you've done it right, there'll be a saltiness, there'll be a creaminess, there'll be a crispiness, and the whole package just comes together really well. But yeah, if you're doing this without the butter or, with some sort of weird different bread or on crackers or, I could see how people might not like it. But if you're going to do it, that's how you bloody do it. And
salty and creamy. How appealing.
Apparently John went out and they went and got special bread specifically for this exercise, and I got good feedback from John and Whitney on their trial. So I look forward to hearing.
So my follow-up question is, when did you sneak it into my fanny pack?
The night. So
when I was I cocked out already, or? I
think so. Yeah, you had the early morning flight the next morning.
Which I almost fucking missed completely.
Yeah. But John and I went out to a couple of bars and ended up in like Koreatown at like 3:30 in the morning, eating some delicious Korean food. And then when we got back, I was like, Jeremy cannot miss out on his Vegemite. I don't need to leave it here, so I made sure to tuck it in the fanny pack.
I should have stayed awake because honestly, waking up, I clearly either A, slept through my alarm, or B, the sound didn't go off because I woke up 20 minutes to when my flight was supposed to leave.
That is terrifying.
Oh my god, I was so scared because I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna cost me so much more money to get home.
There's like
but
cancellation
I made it into my
fees.
Uber. Made it to my Uber. I looked on fucking line, and thank the Lord that Seattle International Airport, SeaTac, was doing constructions to their runways.
Dude.
So the flight was fucking delayed. Like the gods smiled upon me that day, and I made it to the airport and just chilled the fuck out for a little bit. Oh my god.
That's so good. Yeah, Courtney and I had a similar thing trying to get to LAX one morning. I think we were coming from like Orange County, Huntington Beach kind of area on a trip of years gone by. And yeah, with similar deal where we thought we allowed an appropriate amount of time. Like this wasn't a sleeping in issue, but just that fucking LA traffic, man. Sometimes it can just get you. And yeah, we were just like on that road and we're totally going to miss this flight. And then just thankfully, when we checked the thing, it was delayed. So sometimes that does come in just at the right time.
Yes, sir. Everyone hates delays. They hate delays until it works in their motherfucking favor.
Exactly. More love for delays, guys.
Well, we've talked a lot about us, and I hate to continue that, but I would be remiss if I did not mention some big news that occurred in my life and promote something that's, actually independent wrestling related as well. I have been tapped to be maybe the lead commentary person or a co-commentary person with a new wrestling company up here in the Pacific Northwest, which is called Without a Cause Pro Wrestling. So it's WAC. And I'm really excited about this opportunity. They reached out to me and said, hey, you clearly are passionate about wrestling. You have a notable brand. You are a big fan of wrestling. You're a stalwart of the Pacific Northwest wrestling community. So
great word, stalwart. 5 points.
Why not take this guy? Thank you, buddy. Why not take an opportunity on me, which I appreciate because I'm crazy on my own end. And so Without a Cause, new promotion. We're putting on shows on Sundays up here in Everett, Washington.
Nice.
And the first show features BOLA participant Darby Allin, Priscilla Kelly, Thunder Rosa, aka I think it's Cobra Moon in Lucha Underground, and then a local talent who's actually really awesome, a good guy, Dave Turner. Technically he's a heel, so he's a fucking son of a bitch, Dave Turner. And then
piece of shit.
Yeah. And then King Cash. So a lot of cool local talent mixing up with some international talent. Darby kind of coming home.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited, man.
That's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you.
I'm in my own head sometimes, so I'm kind of telling myself to shut the fuck up and get into this. You're loving it, and man, I'm excited about all the guys here because really they're trying to bring up some other. I've heard about some other talent coming to the other shows, and needless to say, the Pacific Northwest wrestling scene is going to get pretty exciting.
That is so good, man. And you have like some experience with the commentary stuff, right? Like this isn't your first rodeo.
I've done it twice before, both a year within each other, but hey, whatever. I also must bring it up that we're going to be featuring a UK talent, Ashley Dunn, on the show. He's was former Hope Wrestling champion. He's in the US right now, working a couple gigs, and he's going to be making an appearance on I think the show is called A Seat at the Table. A Seat at the Table.
Ooh.
So Without a Cause. Shameless self-promotion, as well as putting over buddies who are passionate about wrestling.
And hey, I know that we have some people from the Pacific Northwest area that listen to this podcast. So if you're not doing anything on this Sunday, how about you head on, not this Sunday, wait, I don't know when it is, on a Sunday,
It's
head over to Everett, Washington.
The 21st.
21st.
Yes, sir.
So that is next Sunday.
Following the actual drop of this show, indeed.
Yes. Nice. Yeah, that's right, awesome, man. Great stuff. I look forward to hearing updates on it after the show. That's very exciting. I also wanted to make mention here. I was very excited to see that on this weekend you are attending in-cinema screening of Beetlejuice. I love that movie, and dude, I'm very excited for you.
I am literally wearing a Beetlejuice shirt right now. And I love Beetlejuice so much that this morning I went to grab a Beetlejuice shirt that I have, and it's a new one, and there was something on it, and I had to take it off. And I was so prepared to wear a Beetlejuice shirt, I just had to pull out the other one I own and rock that one.
That's great.
And I've said Beetlejuice so many times that if Beetlejuice isn't in my room somewhere, this whole Beetlejuice shit is bullshit. Beetlejuice. But yeah, man, Danny Elfman, Tim Burton, Winona Ryder, Alec Baldwin, shit, Batman. Anyways,
it's so good. I rewatched it. I reckon inside a year ago, and
extremely underrated.
It holds up in so many ways. I mean, you've got all of the wacky Tim Burton-ness and like the set design and just a lot of the visuals, but then like the performances as well really, really hold up, and the musical score and just the whole narrative of just like such an interesting just way to approach an overall narrative to a movie. I thought the whole thing was great. I loved it.
Yeah, and it could come off campy and silly, but also that's part of its fucking charm. It's just a really great movie with great acting. yeah, there's nothing I can say bad about it. I have like a bunch of lapel pins. I fucking love Beetlejuice, man.
Yeah, just the whole style of it. I mean, again, props to Tim Burton of like creating something so original and just so different and dark. Like there's a dark humor to it that
Extremely.
is so great.
It faces you. It's all about facing mortality. Like it's so like about people letting go, of the shit that everyone worries about when they're alive. Like, oh yeah, eventually I'm gonna die, and like, I mean, I really want to leave, but it's also really interesting because, man, the show became a cartoon. Like it's
I remember watching that as a kid.
Weird. It's so bizarre, but I honestly, there's everyone complains about sequels, but I would love a Beetlejuice sequel. Like
I remember hearing something about that a little while ago.
World.
I mean, as long as Tim Burton is directly involved in it,
and Michael Keaton has to be Beetlejuice.
For real. Yeah, we have to have just old man Beetlejuice, akin to what was the bird movie?
Birdman.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
That'll be excellent.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, man. I'll let you know if I've never seen it in fucking full screen, so I'm pretty excited about that. Taking the lady friend.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it in an actual cinema either, but yeah, that sounds great. I'm very excited for you. Everyone, if you're not sure on something to watch in the near future, pop on Beetlejuice. You'll thank us later. Yeah.
There's like 30 Beetlejuices in my room now because we said Beetlejuice so many times.
Oh, funny timing with the Beetlejuice thing. We went to like a cabaret night at the local Latvian hall over the weekend, which was hilarious.
What?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So my buddy Mitch, he had a friend who was gone to a lot of his wrestling gigs and music gigs and things like that. So I was like, I have to support her. All right, and it's like one of those sort of community level friends and family burlesque event vibes. You've ever been to one of these?
Wait, friends and family burlesque vibes?
Yeah.
No one's been to that.
Oh, maybe I've just been to enough of them to where they've got a normalcy in my head where I just assume,
whatever. That's the person dancing with fucking pasties on. No big whoop.
That's it, and it's exactly like that. Like boobs out, pasties, all that shtick. But it's kind of like the indie, like the really lower level indie wrestling version of burlesque, to where it's like a lot of the friends and family are there to support. A lot of these people, it's their first time they've ever been on a stage. So they're probably a bit, self insecure and things like that. So this is a big thing for them. And everyone's along to support them through this journey, and everyone's there just to clap and to try to contribute to the evening. No one's there looking at it with like a critical eye. Everything's almost like you're looking at it with an apologetic eye, which is kind of hilarious. And
like, hey, they're doing their fucking thing. Like if somebody, it's like a wrestling show when somebody says you fucked up, like, hey, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing their thing.
Yeah, they're really trying. They're really putting their all in this. Come on, it doesn't matter that she dropped that hula hoop like 6 times in the last 30 seconds. She picked it up every time. It was fantastic. I had so much fun. But yeah, one of the acts was a Beetlejuice themed act, which was actually probably my favorite one of the night.
That's fantastic.
It was wonderful. It was the one with the hula hoops. All Beetlejuice outfits, and they did a bunch of the different musical scores numbers from the movie. Yeah. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I think everyone, especially when I was talking about it recently, somebody is like, everyone loves the scene when they do shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Like everyone loves that.
Yep, the banana boat
tremendous.
song.
Oh, so good. But I really love the sand fucking worm scenes because they're like
still
a mixture of like
me.
It's so creepy, but like a mixture of like stop motion and like actual like real film. It's just so tremendous, and I love that shit. I can't do enough praise for Beetlejuice. I as I get older, I've always thought I didn't really like horror shit and creepy shit, but Yeah, I must admit, I do love that shit. Like my favorite Halloween movie or my favorite Christmas movie is Gremlins. How fucking creepy and macabre is that? I love that shit.
Gremlins is such another just great one with that sort of dark humor hybrid and just really distinct visual look. You know, Jim Henson, there's another guy I can't say enough good things about.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? People who like Us, this is a very Us heavy episode. Should we move into maybe some wrestling stuff?
I think so. 35 minutes in. Do you think it's time?
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
David Arquette
reporting
Watch, 2018.
live from the scene of a possible documentary. David Arquette has been recently interviewed. I now forget who interviewed him, but it might have been Nick Hausman. I know he interviewed him recently, but anyway, he's been interviewed and has announced that he will be covering or releasing in January a documentary about his return to wrestling. And it sounds like more about wrestling itself in general and the scene and people who do this for a living and why. Kind of like, it sounds like a positive version of Beyond the Mat. You know what I mean?
That's the first thing that I thought of when you said about the documentary. And also like I feel like Barry Blaustein in Beyond the Mat like went a bit further to sort of just document the whole thing of wrestling rather than just a singular take on wrestling. And it sounds like that's David Arquette's approach with this as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, a lot of people sort of slam Beyond the Mat for being overly negative. But I mean, to me, anytime you do the pro wrestling story and it's just got a smiley face on the end of it, it's kind of fucking bullshit. So I don't know. I mean, that's a different conversation, but I'm very excited about this documentary nonetheless, and obviously you know how overly excited I am about the whole return of David Arquette to wrestling. I mean, the first thing that springs to mind when you brought that up is like the cynic in me would be like, wait, was this whole comeback just like purely for the sake of
my god, we have the
documentary?
same fucking brain. We have the same fucking brain. I was like, we've been touting David Arquette this whole time. He's been working everybody, and we're a part of it. Oh my god,
we got worked.
I agree with you 100%. When I led into this discussion, clearly I was speaking of a viewpoint of how I felt that Beyond the Mat was skewed to basically malign the whole fucking industry and make it look fucking ridiculous and stupid and make these guys who are so dedicated to getting that final pop, really is what it comes down to. And it became like an embarrassment, honestly. Like,
wait, so that's your take on Beyond the Mat?
No.
Okay.
That was how I was phrasing it.
I see.
When I first came off. And it definitely comes off that way, but it's an honest viewpoint. That's how I've always felt. Like, I was basically setting up how I agreed with what you were saying about how it's like a real good viewpoint of it. But I started off my phrasing of this story as how it buried wrestling while David is going to shine a light on it that is so glorious. But
yeah, for
no,
real.
Chris.
No, agreed.
I love Beyond the Mat. I think it's an honest viewpoint, but a lot of people do indeed view it as some sort of negative, like basically a hatchet job of wrestling or professional wrestling or Jake the Snake or fucking anybody who was involved, Dennis Stamp, all those guys. And it really is.
Old
like,
Vinnie Mac wasn't a big fan of the movie.
Oh yeah. He was like directly involved until he realized, oh wait, holy shit!
This is a real reaction. This isn't some like Walt real? Disney story of what wrestling is.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to confuse it. I love Beyond the Mat. It's the most honest view at wrestling I've ever seen outside of the wrestler itself. But
agreed.
Yeah, it David Arquette is going to be doing a similar scenario, but he's not going to be. I'm sure he's going to look at the gritty shit, but it's not going to be directly looking at the depressing and the dark situations that occur with people who have been maybe hanging on to wrestling a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see that sort of more gritty, like not so much happy face bit of it, even from David Arquette's return in of itself. He's faced some adversity, as was spoken of, with like the injury and he's
Multiple
just
ribs,
taken the whole thing
black
like
eyes.
yeah. It's not just like a Hollywood actor coming in and doing a Jay Leno bit. Like, he's really done this properly, and so there's got to be a lot of heartache through that journey as well, and I'm hoping we get a bit of that.
I knew the motherfucker was all in when I saw him doing crossbodies from the top rope to the outside.
Yeah, and like some Mexican fucking village in front of 20 people. You still there, my friend?
I honestly assume he loves the business, right? I mean, that seems to be
he has
not
to.
fake at all.
You can't fake that,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm really excited that documentary. David Arquette Watch. We're keeping it alive. Not much to mention while we're at BOLA, but hey, we're following up.
I did want to make sure that we mentioned, just how much of a weight emotionally and spiritually that it's weighed down upon us. The fact that we haven't had a David Arquette Watch on the last episode or two. I mean, I felt like severe guilt and questioning, like, who I am as a person, to the point where I reached out to you. Do we want to do an extra recording just to chuck a David Arquette Watch in it to shoehorn it into the show, because I didn't want there to be one without it.
When you send me the message like, "Hey man, nothing David Arquette has happened. Should we even do this show anymore?" And I was like, "Chris, stop. Don't do this. We have to do it for the fans."
For the fans. For the people that tune in and where's my latest episode? Those people shockingly do exist. So
I
for
honestly,
the fans.
because of the fucking vacation, and when you hit me up to do a show, I'm like, wait, are we supposed to do a show now?
Yeah. It was a bit weird because I mean we're sort of semi on schedule with y'all listening to our shit, in terms of the last one was 2 weeks ago, and that's generally our thing. I know we did have a week late with the BOLA episode, but again, you can't really fault us for the international travel stuff.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Exactly. So in theory, coming out this evening, we should be back on track. But I mean, for us, it felt like it's been a month or some shit. It's really weird.
Dude, it felt weird, super long. I'm like, what? All right.
So I mean, obviously we've got a bit to cover in the amount of time that from our last episode. So I mean, let's get to it. The big theme to me.
I have another connection. Wait.
Go on. Jump in.
We have a connection to both BOLA, both to David Arquette, and also to independent wrestling. Our buddy, I don't know if you got an opportunity to meet him, but he is a internationally known professional wrestling fan, as well as professional mic master. He is the rapper, otherwise known as Open Mike Eagle. He is stepping into the professional wrestling ring. Are you familiar with one Open Mike Eagle?
Not extensively. I think I may have had a little chat with him, but I didn't know too much about who he was outside of the...
You actually spoke to him and didn't know his microphone magistry?
I think I may have, yes. Indeed.
sorry, I'm just fucking with you. So Mike is actually going to be fucking wrestling. I didn't know that was going down. That's fucking great. I was a fan of his rap music because I saw him on, it was either Dave Chappelle or somebody, but I saw him on there and I heard his research his music. And one day when I was at BOLA, I think it was actually the BOLA that I met you, I was sitting there chatting to some guy who was sitting next to me, and I go, wait, holy shit, are you Mike? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you're Open Mike Eagle. Dude, I was sitting next to this rapper that I've been listening to, like, obsessively, a particular song forever. And he was, like, sitting here obsessing over my favorite obsession, professional wrestling. It blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Dude, how small of a world. But yeah, Open Mike Eagle. He's taking out, I don't know how to pronounce the motherfucker's name. I'm going to retweet it right now so people can see this shit. It looks like it's like Shiloh Johns, but all I know is Mike Eagle is going to school this motherfucker, and I wanted to put a shout out to my dude.
Ooh.
All right, I'm done now.
Rad. It's funny you say that because like Courtney was similar, where the what was it, the dude from fucking Tool, Like Tool was at BOLA?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Like,
Two of the guys from school.
Yeah.
And the other one, she didn't realize that was happening when I told her, like, yeah, that's fucking Mayor. She's like, what? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's weird that people that
Crazy.
show up that when you find out that people who are by no means connected to you directly love something as much as you do, like especially a thing so niche as wrestling, it's like, oh, there's a special connection there. I understand that person a little bit more now.
Yeah, and it's like a cool thing. It's almost like this lowly interest that we have. It's what brings us, together. Like it brings the overall community together through this common interest and this fucking dumb interest of watching men and women to pretend to fight one another in spandex. Just brings the world together. It's just a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Indeed.
The high and the
Indeed.
low and the in between. There's no caste system levels in society when we're all just watching a wrestling show. I love it.
Yeah. And the article I have right here doesn't say when the show is taking place, but it's for Ohio Valley Wrestling, it appears. So look forward to that. Mike is amazing. He's an amazing rapper. Ziggy Stardust is one of damn it, I can't remember the fucking name. Ziggy Starfish or some shit. I'm the worst right now. How do I put over a guy and fucking fuck up the name of his song? But yeah, amazing rapper, and getting the opportunity to actually do some wrestling shit, that's pretty cool these days.
That's great. Yeah, wish him all the success in the world. Shout out to Open Mike Eagles.
So go on, buddy.
Yeah. In general, there's been a lot that has happened here in the fallout from BOLA. We've got people showing up in different crazy, surprising promotions. We've had some very tear-jerking injuries. We've had some great success as well, and all sorts of stuff. First of all, the one that I think's on the top of everyone's mind, one of the guys that had one of the best showings all in all through the tournament, Joey Janela. That injury. I was heartbroken when I heard it. So on this Live Fast, Die Young show for Game Changer Wrestling that we were talking up on a recent episode about with Psychosis. Joey did a crossbody to the outside, and I watched it, and you wouldn't blame Psychosis, or there's nothing that Joey did about it that looked like he went off it with poor form. It was just one of those weird, unfortunate landings, and his sort of leg crumbled in the wrong direction when he landed, and it was just unfortunate. Maybe it was a thing where it was just hanging on by a thread before that. I don't know. But as soon as it happened, he knew something was really wrong, finished the match, and then cut like a promo afterwards, apologizing to everybody. He almost, he said in the promo, he pretty sure he's going to be out for a while on this one. And then, he went to the doctor, and we all saw that very sad tweet that he was out for maybe the better part of a year. Oh, yeah, man. I'm broken up about it,
We touted recently how essentially he was the king of the indies at the moment. It really was the case. He Honestly. Was not only being on every show, leading pack, he was even changing wrestling, making something that a lot of wrestling fans don't like, death matches, more popular by partnering with GCW. He's set for greatness. He still is. We talked about the show that he has coming up in LA. I don't know if he talked about it on the show itself, but he's coming up with promoting, and I think it was LA Confidential out here in LA, which is pretty amazing.
In Hollywood. It's actually with the Avalon in Hollywood, which again, cool looking venue, and some of those matches on that card are looking insane. It's good to see that Joey is sort of continuing his momentum with sort of the promotional side of it. Outside of just his wrestling, I was kind of a little bit worried that we'll just see Joey disappear for the next large part of a year. But by the sounds of it, he's still going to be very visible. Just not.
I think he's put out 3 free shirts. Yeah, so he's smart. He's like getting set up to hopefully pay for this surgery so he can begin to recoup a lot quicker. You know, I don't know. It's like a lot of the wrestlers, guys, man, get injured, and you're like, okay, they're injured. Hopefully they come back quick. But Joey Janela was so on fire. It's like such a detriment to his career, and on something that he's done so many times. Like you look at it, it doesn't even look like it was that insane. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so much crazier shit that Joey Janela has done and been fine, and then it's like a crossbody to the outside is where it all comes crashing down, brother.
Oh man. But yeah, this show is fucking tremendous. Nick Gage, Sasuke is going to be on it again. Hardcore Ollie versus Brody King. What the fuck? Like, honestly, if Joey is the guy who comes up with the ideas for this match, the guy's a fucking tremendous booker. Like, it's fucking
genius.
Great.
It's like he's taken that magic of those sort of 2010 era Shikara King of Trios, with just these batshit insane, like, what? Glacier is teaming with D'Lo Brown? Or like early 90s Team WWF or whatever. And Joey's just like made a whole thing of it with GCW. It's fantastic. I can't wait to see what's next, you know?
The other two guys announced for the show, which are just basically emphasizes what we're talking about here. Marco Stunt, which is a fucking amazing. He's tremendously popular indie darling right now. And
he was one of Courtney's favorite wrestlers from BOLA weekend. I wanted to make mention.
Indeed. And then somebody who I would say was formerly a Marco Stunt style guy who got really popular for the Crazy Finian. Amazing Red fucking is booked for these shows. Amazing Red inspired about a lot of New York guys to get into lucha and do a lot of cool lucha spots, but mix it with that strong style, you know, wrestling shit. And man, Amazing Red is on this show.
Yeah, dude that basically half responsible for creating the X Division, just insane stuff on the northeast region.
Early
in New
ROH
York.
shit was peppered with him.
So good, like ICW, like everything around
Former
there.
tag team champion for ROH with one AJ Styles. I mean, this guy, I don't think Amazing Red gets as much credit as he deserves.
It's a weird story, like, and it's similar almost with the injury that we're talking about with Joey right now. Like a lot of similarities with Amazing Red, where he was probably on had the most momentum going of like anyone on the indies, and this has probably gone back, you know, like 2003, 2004 kind of time, and then just got waylaid with a bunch of crazy injuries. I think, funnily enough, knee injuries from memory, and it was almost like that just put such a stop to that momentum, and then almost made it was so bad that it was almost like to a point like he was kind of forgotten for like a decade. And
17-year veteran, and the guy is only 36. The guy, I mean, that says a fucking lot. And I hope this Joey has been a intrinsic part in PCO getting a resurgence. I hope. I mean, Red has been doing a lot of shit. I think he's a big part of House of Glory up in New York. So it's not like he's been like sitting in the sidelines, but I hope this is like a resurgence of his independent career.
Yeah, for real. He's been doing interesting stuff. He did have like a bit of a comeback thing with TNA a little while ago, and I mean, I hope so too, because to me, like, Amazing Red was one of the most exciting dudes from that time. You know how much I loved ROH from back in those days. Like, I remember that sequence with him and Loki. I can't remember if it was like a tag or whatever, but it was just like this Mortal Kombat, one-on-one. Like,
dude, fuck. People hate that shit because it looks like so choreographed, but honestly, it's one of the best fucking opening 45 seconds of a wrestling match ever. Ever.
And I mean, I get the criticism of that stuff now, like in the day and age of like those Ricochet versus is it Park? I can't even remember, but the stuff that people get.
Or even Ricochet versus fucking Will Ospreay. Like,
that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, like people sort of give that the criticism now, and I sort of get both sides of that argument. But when they were doing this in like 2002 or 3 or whatever it was, that was like so
it was
far
next
ahead.
Level.
Like just to see that, it's like whoa. wrestling can be this. Like, it was so far ahead of like your expectations of what a wrestling match should look like. It was just so fresh and exciting, and yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Amazing Red. And yeah, I'm really hoping that he gets to sort of have that career rejuvenation that Game Changer Wrestling and Joey Janela do so fucking well.
Yeah, the best part of that whole shit is like the stomps that Loki does is they're like so brutal and so vicious. Like the whole thing, like when they, every wrestling match, or not every, but a lot of wrestling match has that face off where they've done a bunch of shit and everyone just stops and looks at each other and the crowd gets into it. The pop when these two guys stop and like stare at each other eye to eye,
blew the fucking roof off the Murphy Rexplex.
The Murphy Rex is fucking losing their shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sure that video is tagged somewhere on YouTube or something as like the best wrestling match ever or something to that summation. If you have not seen that, look for Amazing Red versus Loki, ROH. It's got to be, like Chris said, 2003, 2004, somewhere around that area. You thank me later.
Yeah.
Or thank us.
I will hang on. I'm sharing this on our Twitter.
Go on.
Right now.
The match will be available.
Oh, not the match, just the Matrix Minute is what it's called.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find the whole match. If you're so interested in that part, the whole thing is pretty great. Probably like 5-6 minutes, I imagine, the whole thing, because Loki was on a pretty good tear.
Yeah, it's so great. It was great. Loki back then was like just a supernova, I want to say. And hey, speaking of Loki stomping motherfuckers real hard, did you hear motherfucker stomped Daga's ear off?
I was like, I heard that Daga's ear was left hanging after a match, but I wasn't sure what was the actual move. So he did the double stomp and almost knocked his ear off?
Yeah, so I don't know if he actually, like Mick Foley'd this motherfucker off and then the ref came back to him after the show with the ear. But no, this, so... Yeah, I watched the GIF on someone tweeted it, and basically Loki goes up for a double stomp, and then you know how sometimes you just slide off a little bit weird to the side? Kind of did that,
sure.
Came off to the side, down the side of his head, and it was almost like a double stomp boot scrape, like Homicide or like Otani, like those dudes used to do back.
Oh, into the corner?
Yeah, it was like that, and then after you just see his ear just like fucking pissing blood. Ouch.
Fucking A.
Yep.
Speaking of MLW, a shirt I did for both Brian Pillman Jr. and Selena De La Renta has dropped recently, so check them out.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how much good stuff has MLW been doing recently? I gave the show a bit of a watch on the YouTube. Everyone make sure to check that out. I believe it drops at 6:05 every Saturday on YouTube, which I find very cool. Bit of a throwback to WCW Saturday Night there. Which makes you
basically you can't say, oh, I haven't caught the show because I don't have their network. It's readily available, so shut up.
Mm-hmm. And how appropriate with Tony Schiavone there as the voice of MLW. Makes my ears so happy every time I hear him, eh?
That's so awesome, especially with knowing, like, Court clearly is not just a guy who's in wrestling. He loves wrestling. Like, the way he got started with wrestling was being close with the Samoans and Gary Hart. Like, this guy loves professional wrestling. It's not like he did it as a money idea. And he knows how to book a good show. He knows what to put in place. And Tony Schiavone is a perfect voice.
You make mention of Gary Hart there as well. And Gary Hart was not the type of dude that would, like, impart knowledge and take someone under his wing as much as he did for Court, for someone that is not just, like, sharing that complete passion and enthusiasm for wrestling. So that's almost like a credit in and of itself. And yeah, I've listened to things from Court where he's extensively talked about all that invaluable knowledge that he got from Gary Hart, probably one of the greatest bookers in the history of wrestling, in addition to being probably my favorite manager in the history of wrestling. But yeah, I mean, Court having that first run with MLW in the early 2000s, which I loved myself back in the day, just being as much of an ECW fan as I am, and how much that was kind of like ECW 2.0 at the time. It was quite torn up when it went out of business, and then Court ended up in WWE as a writer for a while. But then, I mean, what a great story it's been with the success of the MLW podcast, the podcast network that came from that, and then it all coming full circle, and MLW coming back in and of itself, and they're like one of the hottest things going today in 2018 wrestling.
Yeah, it's tremendous. Court had this brand he developed, goes to the WWE, becomes a creative executive, decides, hey man, I'm kind of done with wrestling overall. Somebody drags him back into podcasting. People realize what a great voice and aspect he has on wrestling. He maybe have hired or adopted some awesome people like myself to do podcasts. I mean, that might be kind of cool. But yeah, Court
good taste. Good
like,
taste there, Court.
Yes, sir. Court eventually said, man, I love this shit. I need to get back involved. I have a voice. I have a vision. And clearly MLW is coming off amazing. I see nothing but praise for the product.
Excellent production.
I definitely need to watch more. I
recommend it. I just jammed through about 3 or 4 episodes the other morning. I'm still way behind. I need to get all the way in. But I mean, they've got like awesome, just really slick production. The venue down there in Florida that they run is very cool for a TV show like this. Again, it's great to hear Tony on the mic there, and then like just the talent level of the dudes that they use. You know, between like a Shane Strickland and a Phoenix, a Pentagon Jr. They've got like dudes like Rich Swann that come in, Teddy Hart. They got the Hart Foundation 2.0 with Teddy Hart, Brian Pillman Jr. and Harry Smith. And now I'm seeing, I need to watch this most recent episode with, I believe they did LA Park versus PCO. I think that's one of the most recent things. I need that in my life.
You are correct. Real quick, we spoke about it. The Daga injury, which clearly is a mistake. How do you feel about botches like that or mistakes like that getting turned into angles? Like, clearly it's money, right?
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's going back to that Sami Callihan
but
thing,
do you
right?
view it as dangerous? But do you view it as low-key be a dangerous worker?
Well, that's something where I think I differ with a lot of people.
It's always hung on him.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, there seems to be a bit of a difference in the wrestling audience today, where some people view wrestling purely as like a performance art, you know, in the same way that when they're talking about it, they completely separate the character. It's just like they're doing a movie type of thing. You know, we don't want people to get hurt. To me, for wrestling to work in its most complete way, it needs that little unexpected like feeling of danger and actual real violence, which is, you know, why I love like a dude like PCO, because you just get a vibe of like it's the same thing with like a Super Dragon or like a Necro Butcher, and Loki again, he like just epitomizes that, you know, where there's like a blurred line between I guess the performance and like a real dangerous violence vibe, which I think is exactly what wrestling needs more of today, and why I love the really sort of gritty, dudes are fucking laying it in, dudes like Walter and Thatcher and that side of it. So yeah, I'm all about it, but I can totally see how some people, you know, take the high road of thinking, oh, who's unprofessional, you know. I mean, what's your take?
People will probably, if they listen to my old show, they may have known that a lot of times I set up clearly just a conversational point, because I agree with you 100%. I think people who fucking worry about shit going wrong and assuming that person's a bad worker is dumb, because over a long enough timeline, everyone's going to fuck up. Owen Hart, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, fucked up Steve Austin, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
If you work in this business, you're going to inadvertently hurt a close friend of yours. It's going to happen.
Almost more so when it's a close friend, because you have that familiarity to where, I can lay this in a little bit more because he's my buddy.
Solid fucking point. And like recently, the big gripe has been Brie Bella injuring or fucking giving Liv Morgan a concussion. And Brian came out and talked about it, or Brian Danielson or whatever, came out and like defended his wife and says basically what I'm saying. Along this timeline, this shit's going to happen. And I honestly think the best thing to do when accident happen is make money off it. And that is clearly what they're doing with Daga and clearly what they're doing with one Loki.
Indeed. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the Danielson Brie Bella thing, because it's almost like that is the opposite of what I was saying, in like people shying away and like separating the physicality of wrestling from just being a show type of thing. And it's like, instead of them going with it, and building it up of like, oh yeah, she really fucking knocked her out because there's some sort of heat or what's going on here. Instead, it was just everyone's like, oh, look how unprofessional this person is. They don't know how to work. What an idiot. She shouldn't be able to wrestle anymore, And then even like the apologies that come out afterwards, and then even like the Danielson apologies were like, kind of turned me the wrong way of like, it's almost like, I don't know, I don't want to say like I don't like the breaking of kayfabe in that, because that's not the right explanation, but there's just something that rubbed me the wrong way about like things go wrong, I've done all these things and that went wrong myself. It's like, I don't know, maybe that's a bit too far behind the curtain for me.
Agreed. That I agree with too, because as wrestling fans, if we are really that invested and understand what's going on as much as we claim to do, we should know what's going on backstage. Like, anybody who saw Sami Callihan talking about how he didn't give a fuck about injuring Eddie Edwards, and you thought that was real, you're a fucking asshole if you're a wrestling fan. Clearly, he did not mean that. He's working with this guy every night. Like, no doubt they're working together. Jesus Christ. Owen Hart walked around with a shirt that said, I broke Owen 316. I just broke your neck. Like,
yeah.
It should happen. Brothers are going to work together. Get over yourselves. Quit defending. I hate to use the term that the internet has adapted as super fans, but use stands. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And yeah, it's almost like an extension of people wanting to be offended by everything, and like just having this surface level interest in something and thinking they know enough to be outraged about something they have no idea about. I don't know. It's just kind of funny and sums up like that whole thing of instant internet outrage over everything going on right now. I don't know. But anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic. Let's bring this one back.
Wrestling.
No?
Go on. Bring it.
But I mean, speaking of MLW, the Mania weekend for next year, for 2019, is already shaping up. It's scary how fast this thing comes about. I'm pretty sure that, oh fuck me, today the MLW tickets go on sale for their shows, so I'm gonna have to get on that. Shit.
Wait, for fucking Mania weekend?
Yeah.
Or Chicago?
For Mania weekend. The 10th.
I'm probably going to roll the way I always do Mania weekend. If I end up going out there, I'm going to see what kind of tickets fall in my lap as free opportunities or we're going to buy. But, dude, I saw a travel schedule for some of the venues.
Right.
It's atrocious. The distance is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, the toughest one to me, so stuff that I'm probably the most excited about is all of the Game Changer Wrestling stuff. And that is out in New Jersey. Really sweet looking venue there. Let me look this one up. But yeah, they've got a whole bunch of different shows that they're putting on. As the collective is sort of the thing. They've got shows running from the 4th to the 6th of April at the White Eagle Hall, which very cool looking venue. It almost gives me a bit of a vibe of like the remember the Madhouse of Extreme of ECW in Queens before they moved to the Hammerstone.
Honestly, no. I apologize.
Ah, that's okay. Yeah, it was just like a really rad old ballroom. I think it's actually now been purchased by a church of some sort. Maybe Scientologists potentially. I don't know, but yeah, wrestling is sadly not allowed to be run there anymore. But yeah, just really cool old hall kind of vibe. Where you just get the feeling like there may have been human sacrifices there at some point. But yeah, this venue, the White Eagle Hall that GCW is running in Jersey, looking really cool as well.
Human sacrifice. There's like pentagrams on the wall and shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they've got an like downstairs area where they have like fights to the death and something like that.
No, that definitely didn't happen. There was no fight clubs going on. But honestly, those are the best venues for cool wrestling shows. And you're like, wow, what the hell is this building?
Agreed. And GCW seems to have like a real eye for that shit. Like all of their venues that they run are very cool. That one in New York, in Queens, that we watched that last show, the Joey Janela's Lost in New York, very cool as well. The one that I most recently watched for the Live Fast, Die Young in Asbury Park, really fucking cool as well. Like a exposed brick wall, balcony type of setup, really like jam-packed. And yeah, they know what's up when it comes to picking cool venues. But yeah, this White Eagle Hall is in Jersey. So, I mean, a lot of these shows are sort of like on that borderline of New York City, Manhattan, whatever, and then in New Jersey, I think some of the shows are in Queens as well. But I think the hardest trip is going to be if you're going from a show in Queens to that show at the White Eagle Hall in Jersey. I think that's a bit of a long trip.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can see, like you're saying, some of this travel stuff may be a bit tight if you're heading from one show that's just finished to another one that's probably starting in half an hour or 45 minutes, like some of those trips that we did at this past year's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, if you want to enjoy yourself, it might sometimes be you camping at one location and maybe watching a show that you didn't necessarily want to see to go see the show that's following up after that.
Yeah, I mean, the part that's still a question for me, we haven't had it announced yet, of the actual Joey Janela Spring Break. Mm-hmm. And that's like the
you
biggest...
would assume it would be a late night?
It has to be a midnight one, right? Like, you can't do Spring Break without it being at midnight. That's kind of become the expectation. And
unless Joey's mad that people like myself left right after the fucking show ended.
He gave you a shellacking after you left, sir.
Yeah, especially when I went and talked to him directly. Like, I saw the video. Like, hey man, I was tired. He's like, hey man. Oh, sorry, Joey.
Yeah, but I mean, we've had some different stuff announced, like between, like just in this GCW collective. I mean, we've got like a collective Powerbomb .tv group show. We've got a AIW show. We've got a Interspecies Wrestling show. That'd be a really fucking fun one to go to. I've heard those shows are great. And then on the Friday, we've got, this is new to me, I'm seeing Shakara, as well as Black Label Pro. And then Spring Break, which again, we don't know when that's going to be yet. And that Blackcraft Wrestling, that one that Johnny Mundo is a part of, that's on the Friday night, which to me, Friday night is that, I mean, that's when the Spring Break was this past year. So I'm almost expecting they do that Blackcraft Wrestling show at the same time, and then, because I think that Spring Break is bigger than the capacity of the White Eagle. So maybe they do that elsewhere.
And next year, me and Chris will be running Craft Label Wrestling. So catch that show. Well, why is everyone harping on the such similar names? What culture became Defiant Wrestling? Totally fucking ripping off Defy Wrestling.
Oh, that was some bullshit.
Why don't these people come up with original ideas? Black Label and Black Craft, that is too close. Get out of here.
Yeah, and they're going to be on the same day of WrestleMania weekend in the same venue, shockingly enough. And then on
Where
the
am
Saturday,
I?
Yeah, right. And then we've also got IWS coming down from Montreal on the Saturday, which I don't care where I am, I have to be there for that because of
you go to IW Mid South show.
IWA Mid South. Oh, that'd be appropriate. Shit.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said.
No, IWS, the group that Steen and Generico and Sexy Eddie and all those dudes came from when they first invaded that CZW scene back in the day.
Sir.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, some of that travel is going to be a bit nutty. Just the amount of shows that are on is going to be insane. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, I definitely need to make it to some of those MLW shows.
Just make sure you have friends, so an Uber split becomes more reasonable than doing those trips on your own.
Yeah.
Good thing I have friends.
Yay! Yeah, agreed. I think we may be partnering up for some of these trips. Are you thinking you're going to be doing this trip, man?
The original plan was yes, because Alicia also wants to go.
Oh, right. Sweet.
Yeah, and I told John that I wanted to go, and then literally a couple of minutes later, he's like, "I booked a fucking B&B in New York." I'm like, "Brother, I said I was pretty strong about going this month. Not that strong."
Yeah,
John, I love the guy. He's like, "I'm doing shit. If I'm doing this thing, I've decided I'm fucking doing it." I'm like, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that just half-asses shit. Like once he decides that he's doing something, he's fucking doing it.
He is a planner. He gets the shit
Which
planned.
Means I might be seeing. He reached out to me recently. He might be coming up here to see the Defy show later this end of this month and staying either on the couch or the bed at my girlfriend's place. So hey, nice. Johnny Kraft.
Hey, isn't that a great thing about this Wrestling Friends deal? You can go to a wrestling show on the other side of the country, and you know that you've got a couch waiting for you. It's delightful.
Hopefully, I'm going to come see some wrestling show in Australia, and I have a couch to lay on down there.
Fuck yeah.
Down under. I'm an asshole. Sorry.
Down under. Yeah, man. I got you. Yeah, I mean, all of the good shows are in Melbourne, but I'm sure it'll definitely work out for you to stay in Brisbane. Melbourne's not that far. It's only a 4-hour flight.
Well, you're traveling with me, right? I'm not going to walk around there alone and get robbed. Apparition, you beat me over the head with their didgeridoo. I'm bringing up all the cliches, mate.
Yeah. Not to discriminate against our Indigenous friends. I'm sure they will not indeed rob you with a didgeridoo.
Oh, God, I'm such an idiot.
Right.
All right, what's the next wrestling story you would like to chat about, good sir?
So I'm just wanting to continue down this list of fallout from BOLA. I mean, aside from my just shock and scaredness going into this New York trip, but I'm like, isn't that fucked that we have to start preparing now? It's like it feels like it's a year away, but it's really not. I mean, what, do we got 6 months away? I don't know.
Sure.
Either way, it feels very, very close, and I have to get flights and all that stuff.
All right, is Courtney going to be joining you on this trip or not?
Yeah, she's never been to New York before, so we're just going to do a quick one over this time. I think just being actually in New York for a week, a couple of days before the shows, and then jet out on the Monday morning or something like that. I think that'll be the way to go.
I'm looking at more like a 4-day, maybe a day before the wrestling stuff goes down, and then those 4 days.
Yeah, I think that'd work. But yeah, when anywhere from that Thursday through the Saturday, we're gonna be dead. There's gonna be so many fucking shows.
Yes, sir.
But I look forward to it as well because we both enjoy that hashtag dumbness. So I mean, next up, the story after Joey's really unfortunate injury. The big ones right now are Robby Eagles and Shingo in New Japan now. What? So good.
Very excited.
I'm so happy for both of them. Awesome. Hey, I mean, I was a little bit torn on the Shingo thing because I was so excited for his freelance run. That was all we were talking about the whole weekend. You know, Shingo's freelance now. Is he going to do all Japan? Is he going to do Big Japan? Maybe he might be in Noah. I just can't wait to see Shingo in all these places. Nope, finishes up one day on a show at I think it was Hakata Star Lanes down in Fukuoka for Dragon Gate, where he had his farewell match against his longtime rival BB Hulk. I've enjoyed many of their matches over the years. I actually got to see one in person at Korakuen Hall. That was wonderful. But yeah, then where's he going to be? And then next night, just turns up as the newest member of LIJ in New Japan. As a junior, shockingly. That was the biggest surprise of it to me. I almost think that's a bit of a waste in my mind of a guy in Shingo that, to me, I don't know if this might draw a little bit of ire of some New Japan fans out there. I honestly think Shingo is as good, if not better, than like most of the headlining New Japan guys right now. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, hard to argue, and I appreciate the use of ire, because that's when you were the sentence you were setting up, and I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna say ire, and you said ire, and I was like, hell yeah, he said ire. But no, dude, Shingo is tremendous, and clearly, my feelings, if they put them in a high position in such a elevated group, clearly they have plans for this guy, and much like Robby Eagles, like I don't. Not following the product as strongly. I don't know what this new smaller firing squad Bullet Club, how much traction it's getting, but it definitely is a good fit for Robby. I mean, like, you can't go wrong with being part of Bullet Club, which essentially is one of the hottest properties going in all of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good spot for him to slot into as a bit of a question mark unknown guy. I think Taiji Ishimori really benefited from going into that Bullet Club crew right out of the gate for his great heel junior run that he's had there so far. I don't know, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, I see what they did there with the Robby Eagles, because he's like the what is it, the Assassin of the Skies or something like that. And so I was like, oh yeah, he's part of the firing squad. I see the play on words that they're going with here. But to me, like, from what he's shown in PWG so far, I'm just seeing Robby locally. He's probably one of the best baby faces you would see out there. Just like a pure baby face. I mean, you just meet the guy in person and he's just got such a nice guy face that it's like, I could not ever imagine thinking any ill feelings towards you, sir. You're just a fucking sweetheart in every way. And, friends of friends of his have shared the same thing to me. Just nicest guy in the history of the world. So again, I can't begin to imagine him in the big thing of the firing squad thing is they're like the real heel Bullet Club. They're the ones with the actual heat. They're probably the only actual heels in New Japan right now, to be honest. I can't imagine Robby being a heel at this point. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing him a disservice on this awesome heel thing that he's going to do with this. But to me, I can't even picture it.
Brother, I 100% feel you, but here's my aspect on that is clearly he has such a amazing offense. Like, the shit he does in ring is so flashy.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna get over as a babyface. Like, it's going to be one of the things where him and Taji are going to be, as a tag team, super over, the hot property of that group. Where eventually they may even, if not break away individually, but break away totally from that group. Robby, unless he totally changes his style where he's not doing super amazing shit and just breaks it down, slow paced. That's the thing in wrestling. Like, when you start working heel, you're gonna bring down some of that flashy shit that everyone seems to pop for, because you're not trying to make motherfuckers pop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I wanted to make mention, I think this has been the sleeper thing of the whole of BOLA, but that match that Robby had with Shingo on night 3 was like one of the best 10-minute matches I've seen in my life. That was just fantastic in every single way. And you're right, 100%. His offense and like just his exciting wrestling style is like so high end to where I'm thinking that's what's, regardless of, how much of a mean guy heel he is or whatever, like that just top tier work and offense and exciting ring style is going to carry him to the top of the wrestling world, in my view.
I might be over assuming, but that could be what they're setting up. Like, they know that this style is going to get him over as a babyface, so eventually they're going to have to turn the guy. Like, it could be the case. And how quickly to heat up a property that you're bringing in, then putting him in with the Bullet Club, and then eventually have him be the guy who breaks away from the Bullet Club. Again, over assuming things, but
I mean, it's so weird thinking of that tag team though. Like, if it's him and Ishimori, who are two, again, the most flashy, like, exciting style wrestlers going. Like, if they're heels in a junior tag division, like, how are you cheering against all of the craziness that they're going to be bringing to a match? I can't think of a more flashy tag team. I mean, how do you put that up against, like, who are the Roppongi 2.0 with Yo and Sho? I mean, I love those guys. They're awesome. But I think it would almost, like, do a disservice to them for them to try to keep up with these dudes,
But eventually, like, clearly, like, the angle with Tama is he began to become jealous of the spotlight and the attention that everyone else was getting. So that could devolve from there. Like, they see Taji and fucking Robby Eagles getting over, even though they're heels and getting these big babyface pops. They're like, well, they're getting more shine than us. Let's fucking cut bait on these fucks too. I don't know. Yeah. There's so many opportunities there. I'm really excited about, because I liked Robby. Like you said, like his showing the weekend of BOLA was tremendous. The match with Shingo, fucking great. So yeah, there's so many exciting opportunities by these developments in New Japan. Not necessarily independent show, but you know what we're getting at. These are independent talents all of a sudden in some big elevated spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like this is the time of year where New Japan sort of really gets all those guns cocked and loaded and ready for Wrestle Kingdom. So it's a pretty exciting time. Like the road to Wrestle Kingdom is kind of like really, really happening right now. I mean, I'm still quite a bit behind myself. Like that G1, just like that took me out, brother. I was like, so all right, I don't think I can watch any New Japan for a good couple months now. So I'm still reeling a little bit. I'm actually watching a lot of other Japanese wrestling instead of watching New Japan. I really need to get caught back up with New Japan because apparently a lot of great stuff's happened. But too much good wrestling to keep up with, brother. Jeez.
I hear you.
What's one to do?
Yeah, I've been watching. Believe it or not, I've been trying to keep faithful to at least a lot of the angles and shit that's going on with Impact. And dude, the stuff, the people that they're bringing in, it's crazy. Like the most recent show had Jack Evans and fucking Puma King.
That's awesome.
Both in the same segment. Like I was like, holy shit. And Scarlett Bordeaux, the Smoke Show.
Oh yes, I've seen a little bit of this.
Tasty. But yeah,
elegant.
Oh man, amazing, dude. They're so. Impact is going kind of back to where they started, like being almost a super indie, but on TV, grabbing any guy who doesn't have a contract that says they can't work any other TV and getting them on TV. I mean, it's a great formula.
The strength of that promotion from like that real peak, like 2003, 2004, 2005 period that we're sort of talking about here, where they were just like killing it with all those like all killer, no filler pay-per-views. I mean, they still had Jeff Jarrett in the main event, but I love me some Jeff Jarrett, so I didn't complain about that. But
Stroke.
Yeah, the stroke, the guitar, like, come on, man, coming out to that sweet Kid Rock song in WCW.
Oh my God, Jeff Jarrett and tangent, but Jeff Jarrett in WCW is so great. The NWO Silver or whatever the fuck it was,
with the Harris boys.
Yeah, and Nash. Oh God, and Bret Hart. Like, oh my God, like, stop! You're riding this horse too hard. It's been beat to death, guys. Knock it off.
Oh,
but I love it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there you go, baby.
A little bit of a run in there from Jeff Jarrett's theme music. Hope everyone enjoyed that.
I bet they did. I bet they did. Oh my God, Jeff Jarrett, the guy who went from holding out because he didn't want to fucking job to China, demanding more money, going to WCW, starting his own company, trying to get people to buy his cheap ass bootleg gold, to getting kicked out of TNA again. The story, the career of Jeff Jarrett is, honestly, if you look at it in a fucking grand scope, it's fucking ridiculous.
It is, and he's like relevant again. I don't know if you heard about his involvement and
AAA.
He's like was AAA
The
champion.
UK thing.
No, I was going to say the NWA anniversary show. Apparently, him and GWF have a bit to do with the putting together of that with Billy Corgan.
Oh God. Oh man, too much Jeff Jarrett talk. Let's knock it off.
I stand by his on Triple Mania this past year, the title match where Jeff was defending the AAA Super Mega Ultra Heavyweight Championship. It's like a 4-way. It was great. For what it was perfect. It was probably my favorite match on that entire show. So Jeff Jarrett keeping up the fucking good work in 2018. Holler out, my boy.
Right on.
Yeah. Fucking what were we talking about?
Why did we talk about? We were talking about TNA.
Yep. Oh yeah, but how good TNA is lately. I haven't even gotten back on that train, despite hearing all that good talk coming out of like Slammiversary was where it sounded like they really got their shit together, right? And ever since I've heard really good things, but with the amount of wrestling out there, I haven't even been able to watch it. So
I feel you.
Too much but props to you, man, for getting into it. So what do we need to, if we're just trying to give a bit of a glimpse or tune into the good stuff, what are the big sort of highlights to look out for? I mean, I've heard the LAX feud with the OG LAX has been pretty good.
That was hot. It kind of got kind of silly when they ran over a kid, but still
that.
Pretty interesting.
A child
really
died.
Yes, the kid's dead. And I don't know if the kid, actually, I don't know if the kid dead, but I do know for a fact that King said he wished the kid died or some shit like that, which is exciting. And then they had like a sit down with, which looked like Italian gangsters, which I didn't know why they were over the Latino gang. I don't know.
So was this Eddie going to the Italian mafia to get the inside scoop on Conan, or what's?
No, there was like a ceasefire, like a sit down with like the mob. I'm not sure, man. It was pretty cool though.
These pre-tapes are pretty rad. Like sort of echoing that feel of like Lucha Underground, but doing it with a bit of a different vibe with Conan. I really like it. And Eddie Kingston's been great too.
Not as tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Then a lot of the cool angles kind of got all rolled up together when Moose and Austin Aries and Killer Cross all kind of joined together, which they had all different storylines going on. They're like, hey man, these guys are all hot. Let's put them together. Which, I mean, I like Killer Cross and I like Austin Aries, and Moose is pretty awesome, and I see a bright future for them. So it could be fun. And then Eddie Edwards is like a crazy asshole now because he was drawn into some vicious feud and lost his fucking shit, and I like seeing Eddie show a lot of character. So yeah, man, Impact is fucking fun.
To me, Eddie's character kind of felt like a bit of a Tommy Dreamer ECW vibe. So he's like sort of the Bruce Willis, like Mr. Everyman, with just this craziness going on around him, and he's just sort of like reacting to it, like with the Sami Callihan thing and all that. So I mean, is he still sort of that guy, or he's kind of got fucked up because of it?
Oh, completely. Even Tommy Dreamer was brought into that angle, believe it or not. So Tommy Dreamer came and said, hey, Eddie, you're losing your shit. Maybe going a little out of line. And Eddie's like, hey, man, fuck you, Tommy Dreamer. Ooh. I don't give a fuck. I am not out of control. And yeah, you know, when people say you're crazy and you do crazy shit, it only reinforces that whole crazy thing.
It's true. And I mean, the other thing that I see in Impact Wrestling right now, this is great, that relationship with Lucha Underground and AAA, and just all these like awesome top flight luchadors coming through, and just the flexibility of them being like, you know what, you don't have to be on contract to be on our TV. You're just gonna be on a show. I think they had like some shows actually taped from Mexico recently as well. I'm very excited.
La Parka was on the most recent show. Dude.
Oh, the fake La Parka.
Oh, is it L.A. Park or La Parka? Which one?
No, I heard a story that they
like a
had.
third guy?
They had the AAA La Parka, who's the fake La Parka. Once L.A. Park left, and then Antonio Pena was like, you know what? I'm just going to create a new La Parka, and these idiot fans won't even know the difference. And they didn't for like 10 years. He was right. But yeah, then eventually people caught up to speed. But yeah, so LA Park is the original, more violent, more real, exciting, better wrestler, better all round.
One who's in WCW?
Yeah, the one from WCW, ECW, like all of that, MLW even. But yeah, so this one that was on Impact was the knockoff La Parka. And apparently the crowd were like chanting LA Park at him, which is basically they're chanting for the real one and, telling him that he's a fraud. And apparently the production staff didn't actually know that was like an insult to him. They thought it was like they were chanting for him. So they were like zooming in on fans like chanting LA Park when they're trying to get this guy over as like a baby face. I giggled when I read that. But yeah, I mean, I want to check out me some Impact Wrestling, and I think there's a little exciting thing here. Hopefully, some other people do as well. See what you've been missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then of course we had to make mention of our boy Jeff Cobb. I don't think it's an issue in putting out spoilers here. I guess given that we like told the winner of it on our show immediately after, but Jeff Cobb was the winner of this year's Battle of Los Angeles. We're all very, very happy about that. And he's gone on to ROH.
Which I think I actually did call. I did initially call on our show, but I also immediately caveated that he probably wouldn't because of the ROH contract. But apparently I was wrong. Apparently he's just working for ROH. There might not actually be some sort of real contract that's stipulated he can't work any other shit. So I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that might be another case of ROH being a bit more flexible with their contracts than what they may have in the past. But I mean they seem like they're all in on him. He won the TV title recently from Punishment Martinez, who himself is on the way out of ROH to head to the New York territory.
Doing the jab.
Yeah, but I was real happy to read that, and again, I can't wait to see more of Jeff Cobb doing awesome shit in ROH. ROH actually had another big-time independent signing recently. Did you hear about that?
I may have, but nothing comes to mind. Please enlighten me.
Man familiar to some of our Evolve watchers, or that whole WWN umbrella, really talented, underrated guy from Catch Point, being Tracy Williams.
Hot sauce.
Yeah, hot sauce. Such a good guy, very, very talented guy. I saw they actually did a really nice goodbye to Tracy. Gabe, I think in one of the email thingos from WWN, they had a nice little thing of Tracy won't be doing any more stuff, but he was like such a good guy and one of the best guys you could ever have in your locker room, and it was almost like a tear-jerking goodbye, but it was really nice to see, no sour grapes, that type of thing. And yeah, I'm so stoked. I think it's definitely a step up for him, and I can't wait to see him mix it up there. And I think ROH is really building up some actually a good wrestling base. I mean, between you got guys like Jonathan Gresham, like a Jeff Cobb, a Tracy Williams. Like this is a good wrestling base for the company. I'm excited about it.
And it's awesome to see Catchpoint, showing up in so many places. We got Drew Gulak over here in the WWE. We got Tracy Williams in ROH, and of course, a strong Catchpoint contingent in Evolve.
Indeed. Yeah, it's great to see, and yeah, we love Jeff Cobb. But one of the funny things when I was like editing over that last episode, and I was listening to our little schmoz hello to Jeff that we got on there, and him saying on night 2 when it's like, oh, wonder what you're going to be doing next. and he's like gives this little like coy tongue-in-cheek like, oh, I don't know, you know, they might call me up to tell me I'm working tomorrow. I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
Motherfucker went on to win the whole thing.
Because I'm always the guy who says, so just a couple more matches till you win this thing, unless they call me and tell me differently.
Yeah.
Like, you're the best dude ever, Jeff.
Such a
Yeah,
sweetie.
it's awesome.
Yeah, very, very happy for Jeff. And yeah, I'm interested to see what happens in ROH next. I mean, is this signing, you know, thing a bit of a sign of things to come on them maybe not having a lot of the current ROH crop under contract going into Madison Square Garden? I don't know. Definitely going to be interesting to see.
Now, let me ask you your personal opinion. Mr. Cobb is just 2 years my junior. I am 38 years old. He is 36. Do you think Mr. Cobb is too old to jump into the WWE machine in the future? I mean, do you think ROH is the top prospect for Jeff? Like, is that, as far as, you know, he came into the top prospect tournament beating motherfuckers up, is that as high a level as Jeff can go? Or do you think we have a potential of seeing a Jeff Cobb WWE run in the future?
I don't know. It's tough because I definitely
honest, man.
don't.
We're just guys.
To me, I don't see WWE as necessarily the pinnacle of what a lot of people see it at, and where the momentum that ROH has. Like, if they can capitalize on this MSG run and get some sort of big, TV deal or something where they keep running these big arenas with the momentum that they have, I could see that being a thing that's more attractive and more potential for a lot of guys than just getting lost in the cogs of that WWE system, especially for a guy like Jeff Cobb at the moment.
You say Cobbs or Cox?
I would normally always be saying Cox, but I'm pretty sure I said Cobb.
No, Cogs. Cog or Cobb?
Oh, Cog. I thought you said cock. No.
Yeah, apparently I'm always talking about dick with you.
Yeah, apparently. But no, I think at the moment there's so many guys in the fucking NXT system. It's like, if Jeff Cobb was to go there, it's almost like, I feel like he'd be wasted and lost, to where I think like a big, focused run in ROH in a company that, by the looks of it, have a shit ton of faith in him. I think that's a perfect place for him to be. And who knows if he builds some momentum up from being a top guy there for a couple of years and then approaches that WWE run down the road, maybe that'd be best for him. But I think right now ROH is definitely at least in my opinion a better place for him than being part of that developmental NXT thing.
You answered a question I didn't ask. I was simply asking if you thought he would ever be there, not if WWE was his best route now. So you've technically also answered the question I was asking. So yes, you think there's potential in the future. So cool.
Double point score. Yay. Right. I mean, finishing up, I also wanted to make sure to make mention of our other friend of the show, Carl, PCO, who, again, I thought he had an awesome performance in BOLA, both the complete car wreck match with Brody, and then going into that awesome tag that he had on night 3 that I think everyone was just wowed by. But there was a really great PCO mini documentary that came out a few weeks ago. Did you get a chance to see that one?
I have not.
Well, I'd highly recommend it. It's a really easy breezy watch. It's like 12 to 15 minutes, something like that. And it's just a great sort of overall view of the story that we've told multiple times of his comeback, that just career-making resurgence performance at Spring Break against Walter, and then the crazy things that he's done ever since, and just the momentum and his thoughts behind it, and a lot of the stuff that he spoke about on the show that we had him on. But it was just really cool to sort of see that among the backdrop of him wheeling his worker bag into these little shows and just absolutely killing it in front of like crowds of 50 people. And it's like, why the fuck are you doing this at this age? And it's like, it's I don't know, it was very, very cool. But one of the things that came out in that documentary was he said that he was actually he's working with a fractured rib, I believe. So I wouldn't be surprised if during that BOLA performance he actually had jacked up ribs.
But he's not human. He doesn't even have ribs.
Yeah, right. Destro's got some magic
Metal
going
plating.
on. Yeah, something. Injected some sort of green goo.
That's wrestling. Fucking guys going out there and just working through the most excruciating shit. Broken ribs. I personally had just cracked ribs, and that is fucking gnarly. So I can only imagine.
Indeed. What was that zombie movie with the green goo in the syringe that would bring the people back to life?
No idea, man.
Fuck, it's off the end
I'm watching a lot of zombies.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like one of the greatest trashy zombie movies of the 80s. Probably behind Return to the Living Dead. I've always got to give that the top spot. But yeah, I'm just imagining Destro there with this big syringe full of weird revitalizing zombie goo that he applies to Carl to just keep him going despite all of this.
So I think there's one more congratulations that actually inspired me to maybe have this individual on as a future guest. Fucking Aussie Open.
Yeah.
Tag Team Champions of Progress.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about getting one Mark Davis Dunkzilla on the show?
I think that could definitely be a thing. He's one of my better friends in the world. I really love me some Mark Davis, and I can't say enough good things about him. Yeah, I'll see what he wants to do. Sometimes like it's I don't know. He can
like pulling teeth.
Not so much that. Like once he gets talking, he's happy. But I don't know if like the pressure of interview type. Not the pressure, but I don't know. It might put him in a weird position.
Get him in actually to make him get, to get him in a position. Busy man.
Oh yeah, he's got so much stuff
wrestling.
going on. So much success at the moment with Aussie Open. They were just over for the tag tournament in WXW in Germany as well, and did really well there. Yeah, every message that I get from the guy, it's like just doing this crazy thing happened and this crazy thing happened, and it's just like great to be almost living via him through this just insane point in his life. Like to look back on like a couple of years ago, he was in Australia thinking about doing this move to the UK and just seeing what shakes out. And yeah, Marty Skrull was the difference in making him actually do it, and he did it, and then it's just been like fucking amazing ever since. And yeah, the latest highlight being doing that crazy Progress show at Wembley in front of like almost 5,000 people for like an independent in the UK. That's insane. And yeah, him and
Kyle?
Yeah, him and Kyle Fletcher winning the tag titles on one of the biggest shows in the history of UK wrestling. So cool. It's great. I'm very, very happy. Obviously very newsworthy as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Davis doing a little bit more stuff your way potentially in the future. See what's up.
Very excited. Well, yeah. Hey, even if it's for like a fucking 20-minute chat, I'd love to get him on.
Yeah, for real. He's definitely been on my wish list for a while.
His viewpoint of the whole Wale Mania scenario with him listening to some guy goes, "Hey, it's fucking Marty Skrull."
Yeah.
Don't you know Marty Skrull?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll hit him up. We'll see what we can do. But I also wanted to. Speaking of WXW, they have announced a match coming up, which I'm insanely excited about. PCO versus Ilya Dragunov. Ilya was another guy that was just an insane standout from the weekend of BOLA. But I can only imagine. I don't think a ring can hold the intensity of both of those men. Do you?
No, I like Ilya's entrance. Like, I'm not sure. Like a lot of guys do like a pose or a move or like a little kata type thing when they stand in the ring. But Ilya's like pounding the mat, 3 or 4 times and jumping up and spinning in a circle and just like the most intense motherfucker you ever seen in a wrestling ring. But then you have PCO, a guy who is like the steely gaze of a fucking killing machine. You're right, like the most intense pairing ever in a wrestling match.
I think this may actually create a rift in the universe and a black hole scenario. Like as soon as they lock up, just they explode into a black hole, and then the world as we know it is sucked into it. I think that's the most likely result here.
You know what? And then Alex Wright will pop out of it and start doing his Alex Wright.
Please. That's all I want.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And so the GCW show where Joey got the injury, Live Fast, Die Young, I did give it a bit of a watch over the other night. I had a couple of takeaways. It was a very, very fun watch. Again, as I mentioned, very cool venue. There's something about that New Jersey, Philly base of GCW maniacal fans. It's really, in a lot of ways, the closest thing that I've seen to that rabid ECW arena crowd. There's something about a vibe of Game Changer Wrestling to where it's just more indie wrestling than any other indie wrestling. I mean, I don't know. Do you know what I'm sort of getting at there?
No, 100%. Like, especially with the takeaway of the comparison to ECW, it also reminds me of maybe early ROH, because a lot of those ECW fans, hey, this is the product that I'm going to jump into now. So passionate, really invested in wrestling, not like no nonsense. They're not going to deal with bullshit. So yeah, it's a very, very similar vibe.
Yeah, for real. And just the amount of variety that you see on these shows. And a dude like Nate Webb, like Spider Nate Webb, coming out to his teenage dirtbag music, like still doing that from like, speaking of like IWA Mid-South and like fucking 2003, like straight up right there. Still does the exact same entrance.
Something that emphasizes that when I ran into Nate before seeing him on a couple of shows, I literally like, wait a minute, are you fucking Nate Webb? Like he is like an enigma. He's like, everyone who has ever watched any independent wrestling from the 2000s has seen Nate Webb on a fucking show, and he has done something insane, which is a huge risk to his body.
Yep.
But the whole teenage dirtbag thing, when he came out at spring break and walked around for the whole fucking song,
it never gets old.
Oh, so good.
And yeah, he looks like exactly the same. I mean, he's bald now, but he wears a do-rag. But in every other sense, he's like the exact same guy. Oh, speaking of Davis, Davis as well shares our a passion for Nate Webb, and trying to get him over to the UK, which I would very much be happy if that happened. I think a dude like Nate Webb would just do so well over there. But yeah, Nate Webb had a fun little match, did his whole entrance, and did the crowd surfing during his entrance, which I thought was awesome. Pulled out some just insane moves to where you're like, yep, Nate Webb is still the exact same innovator that he was in IWA Mid-South.
An innovator of violence, as they say.
Yes, indeed. Other highlights, just Nick Gage. I mean, they're his people in every way. Like, there's nothing like Nick Gage in wrestling. It's the closest thing that you'll see to like Sandman or like New Jack or like Sabu, like that kind of maniacal love that crowd had for this dude is what Nick Gage has with the GCW faithful and his whole MDK gang, and I love everything about the presentation. Such a real motherfucker.
Like, if you are, like, personally, not my style of wrestling, but if you go to a wrestling show and you see Nick Gage and you're by the end of his match and I'm saying, that guy's fucking for real.
Yep.
like if that's not your takeaway, you're an asshole. Like, again, I've said that before, but he's just so real. He may not go out there and do a bunch of fucking wrestling moves, but he, like, your takeaway is like, well, I saw a fucking fight, and that's the point of this whole shit.
Yep. And on this show, he actually did do some wrestling. It was insane. He worked. He defended the GCW title against Rich Swann, and they wrestled.
Oh shit!
And it was really good. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, they had I think there was a table spot. The finish was like Nick Gage gave him this sick like sit-out pile driver through a table on the outside. But apart from that, it was like all actual wrestling. And Nick Gage was keeping up with old Rich. It was great. So good to see.
Fucking changing people's minds. 2018, how exciting.
Yep, exactly. And then the one of my favorite parts was at the end after the match. He did this little Nick Gage speech, and he was like, you know what, I love you guys. I love you motherfuckers. I'm calling my son into the ring. It's my son's birthday today, and I want all you motherfuckers to wish him a happy fucking birthday.
Hardcore dad.
Yeah.
Nick Gage.
And then his lanky ass son gets in the ring. And the crowd chants, happy fucking birthday, happy fucking birthday.
Awesome.
It was so good. It was such a touching little moment. And then this other gangly kid from the crowd, a bunch of the crowd were like, it's his birthday too. And then Nick Gage was like, all right, you get in the ring too. And then this other gangly kid gets in the ring, and then they sing happy fucking birthday to him as well. It was wonderful.
Awesome.
Feel good moment of the show, for sure.
That's the greatest way to end a show ever.
Yeah.
It's his birthday too.
I mean, the intermission was again spectacular because I almost went to fast forward through the intermission. I was like, oh no, wait. And then I clicked on the first bit of the intermission, and they just had an extended like Bob Ross painting video. It was like It was like the best fucking thing. I was so happy. I was just hoping that would be the entire intermission, just like Bob
How many
Ross
happy
painting.
little trees did he paint?
Yeah, my favorite takeaway of it was anybody can paint. All you need is a little love in your heart and some practice. Fantastic.
He's not lying. He's not lying.
That's true. Bob Ross brings those fucking truth bombs, guys. Oh. And then, just went to a series of wacky, hilarious videos a la the Lost in New York. We had a dude going through a drive-thru as E.T. meets Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he's wearing like the E.T. mask. Yeah. Oh, it was incredible. There was this crazy Teddy Hart rambling promo that they prefaced it with and said, so this was when Ted was meant to cut a 1-minute promo on Nick Gage, building up to the next show. This is what happened. Then there's this just insane rambling 20-minute promo from Teddy Hart, just so nonsensical, jumping from one... I mean, it's probably like a podcast, to be honest. Just jumping from one topic to another, making no sense. Just like, it was the best. I was thinking it's probably going to go like 5 minutes. Yeah, it felt like at least, 15 to 20. It was amazing.
Did he mention his Uncle Brett?
He did indeed.
My Uncle Brett!
Yep. He also mentioned like Cena, like shout outs to Amazing Red of all people. Everything. He talked about everything and anything in wrestling from the early 2000s
the only
till
guy
now.
who tries to cut a promo and cuts a shoot interview.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. I got so much enjoyment out of it. So much love for Teddy Hart. Yeah, there's a rad 4-way fuckery match, which was pretty great, between Gringo Loco, KTB, Mark Travis, and Marco Stunt. Where, Marco Stunt, again, just as crazy and awesome as we remembered. Many crazy spots where people almost died. But the big standout, there was also PCO and the different boy, Jimmy Lloyd. That was very fun. I enjoyed that from just a disaster perspective. And Ted Hart and Jack Evans actually had an insane throwback match to just the spot fests that we love so much from the early 2000s. It was like a run-up Spider German, like, that sort of Shelton Benjamin spot where they run up for like a superplex. Ran up and just like caught him in like a snap spider German. It was friggin' insane. There was like avalanche German, just like everything you can think of. Phoenix splashes. I highly recommend checking that match out. And then obviously the Joey and Psychosis match. It was fun while it lasted before the spot happened. Psychosis was moving, like a quite injured Mexican man, but he was showing some stuff where he was surprising like what he could actually do and how fast he was moving on bits. Sort of brought back a bit of that extreme lucha style from ECW in the mid-90s for those of us that remember appreciating that. But yeah, overall it was quite fun until the dive to the outside. But I mean, I didn't know how long that Joey kept going. That was like the big thing in the match. He like sort of just kept going with it. And you saw him like trying to walk on the leg, and then like, oh no. He gave him like a air raid crash, which is kind of insane to think about, trying to do that with no legs. And yeah, he did like a super kick as the finish, and it was a bit sad because like he went for the super kick, other leg just completely gave out. So it was almost like a jumping kung fu kick kind of thing. But yeah,
Joey Janela dragging out old wrestlers to embarrass them for the last couple of years. What a dickhead.
I was gonna say props to Joey for sticking it out, finishing the match. I know.
I'm just fucking around.
But yeah, it was very good all in all, very fun. And then we got our classic Gonzo porn main event with Eric Ryan and Schlack in just probably like a ECW no ropes barbed wire throwback. I mean, personally, I still prefer the Sabu Terry Funk match, but this definitely brought all of its own variety of insanity too.
I have been taught by the internet that I should hate Schlack, but I've never experienced him wrestle, and I don't know him as a man, so I'm not sure how to take Schlack.
He definitely looks like a guy that goes to the beat of his own drum.
Right on.
Yeah. So yeah, they're my sort of disparate thoughts through the show. Fun time was had, and I'm very much looking forward to Game Changer Wrestling's next endeavors with LA Confidential.
Yes, sir.
Good times there. We'll make sure to give you our thoughts coming out of that one. There's no way that we're missing out on Hardcore Holly versus Brody King.
Fuck no.
All right. Well, I think this has been a big one. We've got to the pointy end of the show. Would you have any other things that you wanted to add there, sir?
No, sir. I think it's time to get into our plug-olas. First of all, my new plug, of course, is Without a Cause Pro Wrestling. So look forward to that. I'll be talking about more of that in the future. Already got some shows set up for, I believe, December or January, or late November and in January. So lots of cool talent going to be coming up to Pacific Northwest that we haven't seen at some of the other local promotions such as Defy or 3-2-1 Battle. So that should be exciting. Also, if you need a t-shirt design, if you're a wrestling fan or a wrestler, I do designs for both, and I charge all the same, so it's pretty fair. Hit me up at Jaims Vanderbeek, Jaims Vanderbeek, on Twitter as well as the Instagram. Hit me up.
Hit him up. He does very good work. I always look forward to seeing the new shirt designs. If you are a worker or know a worker or are friends with a worker, or you just want a little something fun, something for yourself,
yes, sir,
get it done. So on to the other remaining plugs. Chris Things, check it out on the Instagram. I'm having fun with a bunch of the stuff coming out of the Wrestle Rap art show that I most recently had the pleasure of doing out here in Brisbane. So
next time you got to do Cool Mo Devon.
I did a Cool Mo D. It didn't have a sweet pun though, so it was just Cool Mo D in and of itself. But
that's amazing. Awesome.
Yeah,
I missed it.
But that would be a great pun in and of itself. We're getting the wrap-up music.
Where's the bird coming up?
I don't think people can hear it back home, so I don't want to bring too much attention to it. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting the hint from our theme music playing in the background. I did, however, want to again mention how appreciative we are of Social Suplex. We wanted to give shout out to those guys, the Social Suplex Wrestling Podcast Network. Check them out. They've got all sorts of great shows. One Nation Radio with Rich Larder. We've got the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. We've got the Outsiders.
I like you're going to say One Race Radio. That's a different show altogether.
Yeah. Shit. Man, that's next level.
Go on.
Fuck me.
I'll mute myself. Go on. Sorry.
Keeping It Strong Style, hosted by Jeremey and Josh Smith. And yeah, check it all out on socialsuplex.com. And of course, if you don't already, please follow us on at Grown Men Pod on the Twitter. Where else are you going to find the random things that we decide to share from time to time, including that sweet excerpt of the Amazing Red low-key match that we talked about earlier.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think that's about it, friend.
Bearded, beautiful. That's me and Chris. Thanks for listening. Courtney, I don't know if you made it this far, but if you did, have a wonderful day, ma'am. Get swifty, everybody.
Woo!
That was fun.
That was fun.